HVAC with Stephen Rardon is sponsored by TrueTech Tools. Quality tools, essential support. TrueTechTools.com.
Good morning, YouTube. It is October 10, 2017. And
turn right onto Sturminster Drive.
I actually lost my first bid. I got an email last night, since I'm not a Duke Energy qualified contractor, lost the bid over $500 rebate.
In half a mile, turn left onto South Main Street.
But it is what it is. Can't be part of every program right away, so eventually I'll get there and we'll win the next one. So today we're headed over to a customer's house. As I understand, he's got two systems, and the downstairs system is newer. I think it's just about a little over a year, maybe. I do believe it's an XV, if I remember correctly. Trane variable speed compressor unit. So we'll see what it looks like, dig into it, and take you guys with us. Well, this is not the house that I thought it was, but it is a customer that I've been to before, but I haven't done a whole lot of work down here in the crawl space, and what I'm seeing is some moisture, and it appears that it's probably due to the fact that that drain is disconnected, and it looks like maybe the condensate pump is not functioning properly. So we'll dig into the furnace a little bit before we go that far, see what it looks like before we go make a recommendation for a new condensate pump, possibly. It does appear that the condensate pump works, but this drain assembly doesn't want to stay connected. I'm not quite positive exactly why. I don't see any missing pieces unless someone's been under here and removed parts to the drain system. I'm trying to see if I can get that drain pipe to drop into the pump, and it fell off. Looks like we're gonna need to glue that together a little bit. Remember that I do. We've got a crack in the inducer housing, which is actually looks like it's leaking water. Got two cracks in the inducer housing. So, cracks in the inducer housing are obviously not a good thing, but we'll see what the rest of it looks like before we go that far. Basically, my thought process is you don't want to condemn something just because it has a couple of issues. If the issues don't affect performance at the moment, then maybe you can let them ride for a little bit. It's kind of fun trying to get in here with water all over the place. So we do have a 2-stage unit, 2-stage gas valve, but I don't recall having noticed that that wire was off of W1 and W2, the little jumper extension there. I do seem to recall something about the 2nd stage being excessive, overheating or something, but I'm afraid I don't remember well enough to be sure. I did do combustion here at one time, shown by the brass plug, but I don't remember the details of what that was off the top of my head. I'd have to check my notes. Let's see what the igniter looks like. We're gonna ohm out the igniter. 94.9. And if I recall correctly, that's actually not a obscene resistance value for that particular igniter type. The unit does have a stainless steel face on the heat exchanger. It's not necessarily to say that it's a stainless steel heat exchanger, but it does have a stainless steel face. Can't seem to get to that screw with the gas manifold in the way. Got a little bit difficult serviceability of some of this equipment. This one's causing me some frustration. There we go. Just had to hold my mouth right. Igniter actually looks really good. Alright. I want to double check that heat exchanger for sure. If I can get in there to check it, that is. Have to unplug the wires from these limit switches just to get screw chuck in there. Sometimes when it's difficult to get to things, you want to give up and just figure that it's fine. more often than not, I have found that that is exactly when you need to get into it, because you find problems. Okay, I'm going to not give up, but I'm going to change my mode of access here. I'm going to pull the entire burner box out. What's up, Nick?
What's up, buddy? You busy?
Not too busy to take a minute. What's up?
Hey, do you know by chance offhand what the cost of that Joblink with the subscription?
Off the top of my head, I can't say I do.
Alright.
I would have to default to Brent Ridley or somebody that is...
Yeah, I was trying to figure out because the guy I'm working with was thinking about doing the Fieldpiece thing, and I just remember that there was a subscription, yearly subscription fee you had to pay for that crap.
Yeah, realistically, if you're going to go for the Fieldpiece subscription thing, you'd be just as good off using iManifold, iConnect, or Measure Quick.
Measure Quick, exactly. Do you know when Measure Quick's going to come out and release the Redfish and iConnect and Testo? And when it says coming soon, but
right.
Is it gonna...
I couldn't tell you. I haven't heard any inside information in that regard.
You sure?
I'm positive, dude.
I'm like, you can trust me, buddy.
I know it. I don't know.
We don't know. Jim Burton has got...
Yep, he's holding the dice right now.
Well, damn it, drop this thing. Give us snake eyes. Something.
Right?
I saw your little thank you video you did for RetroTech.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, bro, I just wanted to pick your brain and see if you knew what the subscription fee was, just offhand.
No, I would just hit Brent Ridley.
I'll hit up Brent and see.
Beyond that, I couldn't tell you. I know I saw it at one point, but I don't remember it, and it's comparable for the monthly fees to iConnect, and realistically, by the time you buy the Fieldpiece stuff that's semi-comparable to iManifold, you're spending $1,600 anyway.
Even Steven's saying right now, when you get invested in the Joblink and everything, you're about $1,600. So why not just go iConnect?
$1,600 to $1,800, yep.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to a startup right now, and he's interested in the iConnect and stuff, so I'm gonna throw all that on, do a startup with the Blueback Professional and all that crap.
Cool, man.
Alrighty, bro, I just wanted to pick your brain and see if you knew what that subscription fee was. I just remember when it first came out that there was a subscription fee. I was like,
Right. You have to subscribe just to get the app usage, and it doesn't do anything if you don't have the tools.
Exactly. Just like the iManifold app, you can use the app without the damn tool.
Right. Yeah. So you're always better off with something that works even without tools tied to it.
Exactly.
If something goes haywire.
Yep. What are you working on?
Furnace checkup. Got an old Goodman that
Got that testo combustion at 330 up there?
it's sitting here waiting once I get things cleaned up and figured out here.
I had to order a new battery for my 320.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
It should be. I'm about a week out. It shipped. It was on back order for about a couple days. I had to order a new battery. It wouldn't take charge.
I'm sorry about that, dude.
That's all right. It's like $35 battery. It ain't bad.
Good deal.
But I'm waiting on that to come in, and I'm about another 2 weeks out on my damn 10-8. Appian, I guess, got to make it or something.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
I can't wait to get it.
At least you know it'll be brand new, right?
Exactly. Well, I'll let you get back to work, man.
Alrighty, man. We'll catch you
All right.
later.
Later.
Well, as much as I feel like an idiot for doing it 3 times, I'm going to do it 3 times rather than fight those screws. Get distracted on a phone call and you should have just sent it to voicemail. Alright. Heat exchanger looks good. I can't complain there. Okay, let's do this one more time and hope there's no reason to take it off again. Get the igniter back in there. Trying to figure out where to put lights is just as much of a pain in the butt as anything else. I haven't used a headlamp in a little while, so I'm a little out of practice in that regard. I'm not sure where it is and whether it worked last time I did use it. Should be able to get that igniter tightened up. There we go. Okay. Burners, igniter, flame sensor. All cleaned up. I'm gonna leave the flame sensor disconnected for now. We got an ECM blower, so that's nice, convenient. This is one of the little A cabinet units, so it's difficult to get into the blower. I'm gonna get ready to fire combustion when we fire this unit up. Might as well check the pressure switch while the hose is disconnected. Make sure that's clear. Alright. So we're going to get the DL429 ready for flame sense. Pull the gas plugs for gas pressure. I guess we'll find out what maybe was going on with the second stage when we do the test here, we're going to connect it back again and test it before we allow it to be utilized. Alright, get our 510 eyes ready. Testo 510 eye. Where'd my phone go? The testos are connected. We're gonna zero them out by hitting the gear at the bottom left, zero pressure sensor, continue, and we are zeroed. Incoming gas pressure goes on the top. And goes to the red manometer. Manifold pressure goes to the bottom and goes to the blue manometer. Okay, we can turn gas back on. Standing input pressure is 8.8 inches. Once again, we're using the Supco door magnet. I believe it was called the Mullinax, or maybe that was a different brand. I'm gonna push the door switch with that, and it looks like so. It's got two magnets on this face here, and it holds the door switch down with those two magnets on the side. These door switches are always a pain in the butt. And if you had to, you can take those two pieces apart and use just the one with the double magnets if the application makes sense to do that. We got gas pressure, and I'm going to fire it on first stage to start. So we're going to get the combustion analyzer ready and the eye manifold probes in place. So as far as using eye manifold for heat checks, basically all you need is the air probes and either the eye manifold box or the eye connect box. We've got the supply air probe over here, down and around the corner from where the furnace heat exchanger is, and then we've got the return air probe down here. And basically all you're doing with those is taking a temperature split and doing a gas heat airflow calculation. A lot of these things with airflow calculations that iManifold does are actually part of the NATE certification testing study material. The BTU heat rise for gas, electric heat rise. But anyway, that's basically what you do. You take your gas temperature heat rise and your input and calculate your airflow based off of the BTU's input and the temperature rise. David Cameron, while I was at his training class, suggested that you never jump a thermostat out with the red wire connected. So we're gonna hit the white W1 and the red wire, and we're gonna put the blower door on. Gas pressure in first stage is 1.6, and we're not going to hit second stage, but we're going to take combustion readings before we jump up to second stage. While I'm waiting for that to balance out, I'm going to see what I can do about getting that drain pipe. It's dry fit. Dry fitted. Is that a word? 1.6 gas pressure. Excess air is 126% in first stage. So as much as I don't like to admit it, I might have forgot to put that second stage connector back on. So we're running a little lean, of course, in first stage. We'll see what the temperature rise looks like. One thing that I would like to see iManifold do is allow a gas heat profile, because as it is, it shows a negative temperature split because it's expecting to see a temperature drop, not a temperature rise. We got 18 or 19 degrees. Combustion is still lean, of course. I'm going to see if I can get second stage to bump up, but it'll probably drop out. And I've given up on trying to keep myself dry. At this point, I'm kneeling in a puddle of water. All right, second stage is running 3.6. We're going to give it a few minutes to balance out before we attempt to clock the meter. Excess air is looking a whole heck of a lot better at 58, 57%. We're between 6 and 9 on CO2 and O2. We were at 19 degrees on first stage, and we're coming up 24. We're going to let it run for a while and balance out before we worry too much about it. I don't know how this drain is ever connected as it is. Maybe. But that puts everything under some tension. I'm not crazy about tension. We're up to 31 degrees, and the profile for this equipment, the allowable temperature rise is 35 to 65. I mentioned that we had a crack down here with some moisture condensation there. We got another crack up there. The bottom screw on the collector box also looks kind of grody, where moisture has developed there. We're up to a 40-degree temperature rise. Combustion is showing 49 excess air, 7.57 and 7.4. So I think we're gonna go clock the meter. I can't find a good place to a good view here, so we're gonna go with what we've got. We're gonna clock the gas meter, gas heat content of 1025, start on the half-foot dial, and start it when the dial hits the bottom, and start and stop. So a 60,000 BTU unit is showing 51,730. We're gonna do it one more time when the meter hits the bottom again, and start and stop. 58,429. Pretty happy with that. We are 90% efficient. Capture active data, and we show 1,000 CFM at the current temperature rise. Back inside, we're going to capture those measurements and shut it down before we cause too much heat inside. Return air is showing 75 degrees and 126 supply, but wanted to make sure we got our combustion numbers also before we shut it down. Well, I walked away and lost connection with the testo combustion analyzer. Hopefully we can get reconnected here and get a reading before it gets too warm. There's our final numbers for combustion, and we're going to shut her down. It's been running long enough. Time to pack everything up. I can only imagine that I accidentally or mistakenly forgot to tie in second stage again. I apologize profusely. I must be an absolute hack. But I still make mistakes and bad decisions. So we own them. Own your mistakes and move on. I keep thinking that there was a reason that I took second stage out, but I'm not seeing it. And without knowing for sure, I can't go on an assumption. Gas plugs are back in, so we've done that. Everything's reconnected. This is what we've got upstairs. The larger of the two pipes going up and over was replaced with the equipment, and I think the return might have been replaced as well. No, I think that's original, but we've got a spot there for the return air. If I recall correctly, the supply air was over here. And then we've got the refrigerant probes already up. The target subcooling is 8 degrees. The 12 degree superheat target is an arbitrary target. Despite our head pressure zone being a little higher than the target, we've got a balance, and troubleshooting is not helpful at this point. It is damp outside. We've had a lot of moisture, some rain and humidity, so the head pressure being a little low is not surprising. Suction pressure is right on line, and let's see what our system performance looks like. And our temperatures have not balanced yet. Right now we're showing a temperature split of 6.5 So we're gonna let it balance out for a little while. 7.2. We'll be back in just a minute. So we've balanced out pretty well, and we are about 1.7 degrees off of target. Calculated airflow is coming out just over 400 per ton and 1,000 CFM. The AHR match is rated at 950 airflow. So I think I'm going to dig into the blower speed settings and see if I can drop it down just a little. I went to the manual to see what I would need to do to probably hit it with the first try, and it looked like speed tap 4 was going to do the trick. These are the numbers before these are the numbers after making the blower speed tap adjustment from number 5 to number 4. It's actually interesting to note that the number 4 speed tap was factory setting. Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm headed over to grab a Wi-Fi 8000 thermostat. Customer has a Wi-Fi 8000 for his upstairs system and was interested in the convenience of being able to control both systems and monitor temperatures for both zones of the house from the same system. So I'm gonna head over there and grab a thermostat and come back and toss it in. Wanted to thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Use my code RARDON at TrueTechTools.com to get 7% off your purchase. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.